2, and then we're going to record. We are live on YouTube right now. Two, and then we're going to record. We are live on YouTube right now. All right, let's get that out of my way so I don't have to hear it. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, estongo, konnichiwa, namaste. Greetings, everyone, ladies and gentlemen from around the globe. I'm Dr. Elisa White, and I'm here with our lavish crew from around the world as Mindset Mastery 360 Global Movement. We are here ready to bring you live, vibrant conversation around the topic of youth development. Yes, we are celebrating the youth. And as MM360, we always want to keep the mindset provoked in the right direction. That is going to help us go in the direction and achieve the goals that we say we want, as we believe that the mindset is the key to your success. And it is definitely necessary and a foundational tool that you have for socioeconomic development in every area that concerns our community. So today, I am blessed to be a member of the co-host gang. We've got our co-founder, Dr. Kareem Ellis, here in the building as well, saying hello. You'll be hearing from him shortly. Our Chief Innovation Officer, Trevor Halt, is here as well. Our global ambassadors, our administrative staff, some of which you can see on screen, Samuel Moshapa, head of our PR department, and Adwele Elomawer. He is also head of member services. Our country director, newly appointed, Agata from Zambia, and Jimmy here is one of our Mindset ambassador, and Bazi there too. You can see her on screen, and so many more that you'll get to meet along the way. So today it is my honor to officially welcome you and say with great excitement, we're so glad you're here for the inaugural, which means there's so many more to come, our Ignite the Future Summit and Awards 2024. And today is part A, just the summit and conversation that is presented to you by our Youth Development Board of Mindset Mastery 360 Global Movement. Today, we are here from all corners of the world, united to share our commitment to empowering the next generation of youths, architects for a brighter and more sustainable future. The mission of our Youth Development Board is pretty simple. We aim to establish with a singular vision and to harness the balanced energy of creativity, passion for young people to channel them towards a meaningful, more impactful change. And our mission is to empower youth not only to dream, but to also equip them with the tools and the resources necessary for them to take advantage of each opportunity that they have in their dreams and in their lives as a person. We believe in the power of youth-led change, and we charge them to address the most pressing challenges of our time. For social justice, for environmental sustainability, we want to see our youths pioneer innovation that will shape the future of the world. And so with the Ignite the Future summit and awards is definitely a testament to our unwavering belief that in the potential of each young person, there is an agent of change. The summit and the awards is more than just a gathering. It is a platform for dialogue, conversation, collaboration, and learning as MM360 itself. We explore the digital pathways that youth are forging and innovation solutions that they're creating in their life's journey and in their work. And so we're ready to lead the conversation, lead the change by driving progress towards the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Today, Ignite the Future Awards is ongoing. Nominations are wide open, and we get to celebrate youths from around the globe on the 24th of August. So if you know a youth who has been thinking and creating change, we want you to invite them to this platform for Ignite the Future Awards if they're not here with us today. These awards will recognize and honor young leaders and innovators and change makers who are making a tangible impact in their communities and the globe. Yes, tell them all. We want to know who they are. And they're doing this by exemplifying the very essence of leadership, resilience, and visions. So let's get tucked in as we get ready for a big warm welcome from our co-founder and chairman of the board, Dr. Kareem R. Ellis. We bring him on to greet you, global thought leader and the #1 breakthrough strategist. Over to you, Dr. Kareem.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Elisa White, and to everybody here, all the ambassadors, those that will be future ambassadors, and especially the youth, which is why we are here today. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, or potentially good night, and welcome to MM360 Ignite the Future Awards 2024. Today's theme is all about celebrating the youth's impact on sustainable development. Now, I know we have some individuals that are present that may not know what sustainable development is all about. So I want to give you very quickly the 5 pillars, and I'll explain why this is so important. The 5 pillars of sustainable development is people, prosperity, planet, peace, and partnership. I love those P's. I'm going to run that back. People, prosperity, planet, peace, and partnership. The reason why these awards are so powerful, the P word, is it's hard to be a thing if you can't see a thing. And if you have a global mission requires a global vision. And so we're going to spend time today giving roses to individuals from all across this planet that fall in line with those pillars that help exaggerate the ability to walk forward with how we impact sustainable development on this planet. So I want to celebrate all the awardees in advance. I want to celebrate all the panelists. And on that note, Dr. Lisa, I'm going to pass it right back to you.
So powerful, Dr. Kareem. Thank you for breaking down something that most people in the world find so complicated in layman's terms for us that you can always depend on Mindset Mastery 360, our leadership, to bring that to you. So today, we just want to encourage you to get comfortable with us as we continue into the discussions and the prospect of just creating a partnership for these goals with us as MM360 and the rest of the world as we come under the umbrella of what the UN has put together. I want to share a little bit further in addition to what Dr. Kareem has also shared with us, just so you understand what is the Youth Development Day even all about, Dr. Elisa, Dr. Kareem, and team. Well, while we choose a theme for Ignite the Future, we want to let you know that the International UN Youth Development Day is tomorrow, officially August 12th. And that's why we're celebrating today on Sunday, a day when it's a little bit easy to bring our team from around the globe. And so the Youth Development Day 2024 is designated by the UN to acknowledge the challenges and opportunities faced by young people around the world. And so their theme this year is From Clicks to Progress. And they aim to highlight the vital role for digitalization in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals as they gather the efforts of all the young people. So that's the theme of the UN. And for us, it is definitely where we want to tap in today. And you will get into our conversation and how we're focused in as MM360 Youth Development Board on this particular theme. So without further ado, we want to give you one other view of our keynote and the team of panelists that are here. I'm going to share screen so you can take a look at who is going to be presenting today, and then we will introduce our keynote. Thank you all so much. We will introduce them individually, but today it's my privilege to introduce our keynote speaker for today.
I think we have some audio problems with you, Dr. Alyssa. We can't hear you.
Yeah, Alyssa, you're muted, Dr. Alyssa.
Thank you so much. I apologize. Our keynote speaker for today is an incredible human, a young, vibrant man who has been doing phenomenal, great things in the world. His name is Ambassador Trevor Holt, who is the co-owner and CEO of Core Trainings that focuses on relational leadership and personal growth. He is a Maxwell certified leadership specialist, motivational speaker, and he's also the Chief Innovation Officer right here at Mindset Mastery 360 Global Movement. He holds a bachelor's degree in communication, and he is hailing today from Greensville, South Carolina, USA. And I have to say South Carolina because it's not said right. We are so proud of Trevor. You can catch him hopping from plane to flight throughout the week here in the US, going into working with youths all throughout the country, speaking to them, training them how to become leaders. And he is no best suitor. He's also wide over our youth development board here, serving with one of our other leaders, Deb Holt. And we're excited that we're able to do our very first Ignite the Future and have Trevor be our keynote. Trevor Holt, Ambassador Trevor Holt, officially, we welcome you to the stage, and we're excited to hear your keynote address to us today. Over to
Yeah, no, thank you, Dr. Alyssa. Thank you, everybody involved. Once again, as introduced, my name is Trevor. Call me Trev. Call me Trevor. That's how I roll, first name basis. And I just want to say it's such an honor to be here with y'all today. And today is not just about you getting spoken at and just getting feeded information. Today, we're here to be with you. We're speaking with you. We're here to be with you, help one another. And today, for what I want to talk to you about is not just about the youth, but it's about for you as well. Traveling around and impacting and helping the youth change their mindset, which is what we're all about right here at Mindset Mastery, is changing their mindset. Because when you change your mind, when you change your thoughts on how to take action. When you change your actions speak to different results. And so today, I want to talk to you about a skill set. And yes, I said skill set, because what I'm going to talk about today doesn't always become a thought about a skill set, but it is. And I want to talk about about the one skill set in this world that is the most important to your success level. And I know everybody wants to be successful. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to be successful, if you want to win in life, or raise your hand. Who wants to win in life? Who wants to win in life? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to win. 1 in the chat if you want to win, want to be successful. Let's go, Vanessa. Let's go, Adewale. Let's go, Ivy. Come on, let's go, Agatha. Let's go, Robert. Let's go, ones all around, right? We all want to win in life, right? And so a lot of times right now, we focus so much on winning that we forget the process of how to win. And let's go. Yeah, Dr. Kareem Ellis, 1. J.O., 1. Bosede, I think, again, names, I hope I don't watch those, but I want to win. Absolutely. We all want to win. That's the thing of life. We all want to win. No one wakes up in the morning and says, man, I hate to lose. I can't wait to lose today. No, we're humans. We're on this earth. We want to win. We want to live a life of significance and impact. And so today I want to teach you simple applications to help better your life. And what I want to talk to you about today is, again, the number one skill set of if you want to be successful. Your success level will never surpass this. And this skill set is your confidence. Yes, a skill set. Confidence is a skill set. A lot of times we think that confidence is something that we're born with or people that just have. But no, I promise you, your confidence is built, and your success level, where you take your life, will never surpass the amount of confidence you have within yourself. And so today I want to talk to you and help you understand and give you just three simple, practical applications you can start implementing into your life to help boost your self-confidence. And so, first thing about self-confidence. Self-confidence is not just about shouting affirmations to yourself in the mirror. Although that is great, it's an amazing thing to do because what you tell yourself is what you become, but that is not confidence. Having actual self-confidence is you having evidence of you doing something, you having actual tangible evidence of you say what you're going to do and you do it. And so confidence is underlying in every aspect of your life. The more confident you are in yourself, the more likely you're going to take action, the more likely you're going to stand up for yourself for what you believe in or what somebody else believes in, what you also believe in. And so, yes, confidence is a skill set. It's not what you're born with. It's not just what you have. Confidence is a skill set. It's something that you can build and build and build until you have undeniable self-confidence within yourself. And so again, confidence is not just shouting affirmations to yourself. Confidence is having evidence of what you say you're going to do and you do it. And so tip number one way to build confidence within yourself is that you must keep the promises you make to yourself. So in the chat, number one is that you must keep the promises you make to yourself. Number one, keep the promises you make to yourself. Write that in the chat. Number one, keep the promises you make to yourself. Keep promises. Got to keep promises to yourself. Got to keep promises to yourself. Because let's be honest, no one likes to be let down. Or vice versa, no one likes to let down others. But sometimes, being honest, when it comes to ourselves, we don't always take what we say, the promises we take to ourselves, we don't keep it on the same severity. We don't keep it on the same level, that same prestigious that we think when we try to keep promises to other people. So I want to flip that script, and I want to tell you that what you tell yourself and the promises you keep to yourself are, if not more or equally important to your promises you make with other people. Because again, sometimes you just don't think twice when we let ourselves down. Oh yeah, no, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I have this thing, I'll do it tomorrow. But that tomorrow that we say we want tomorrow is that tomorrow we hope that's not soon. Right. And so again, number one is keep the promises you make to yourself. Again, no one likes to be let down. But a lot of times we don't even think twice when we let ourselves down. And so not even just today, but mindset mastery is not just about changing your mindset. You can change the world, but it's also helping you become the next best version of yourself. And in order to become the next best version of yourself, that starts with you and your actions and how you create yourself. So then you can help other people become the best versions of themselves. So number one is to keep the promises you make to yourself. Number two, I know this might sound super cliche, but number two is that you must start with the small wins. Number two, you must start with the small wins. If you want to help build your confidence, you got to start with the small wins. Number two, start with the small wins. Put that in the chat. Start with the small wins. And I mean small, right? For me, in my life growing up until about a couple last years of college, I battled with being bullied, and I battled with my weight and being overweight and being depressed. And I hated the way when I looked in the mirror, I hated the person who I was, what I looked like, what I stood for, how I carried myself was just, I know that's not who I'm meant to be. I know I'm meant for more. I know I'm meant to have more, do more, be more, empower more, impact people more, influence more. Because I know in myself, I know I'm meant to leave a global impact in this life. And I know you know that for yourself too. You being in this room on this call shows about that who you are, what you stand for. You know that you're meant to do amazing things in this life. And I know that's true. And so, I mean, when you start with the small wins, because a lot of times when we think to build our confidence level. We have to do something way crazy out of our comfort zone just to gain a little bit of confidence. We think we need to have 100% conviction in order to take action. I'll tell you that's not true. You don't need 100% conviction in order to take action. You don't need to do this crazy thing that you can't even comprehend doing. You're so out of your comfort zone just to gain a little bit of confidence. How you start is a small wins. And I mean, it's simple. You wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth and you do it. You say you're going to pick up this book and you're going to read 10 pages and you do it. You say you're going to call your mom, call a loved one, say, hey, I love you. And you do it. Just like Nike says, you put your Nikes on and you just do it, because studies show that around 42% of your daily actions are habit. 42% on average, on day-to-day basis, your actions are subconscious behavior, meaning just shy less than 50% of what you do day in and day out, you don't even think about doing. And so when you start with the small wins, right? When you try to go from not doing much or having these big dreams, you go all the way to the front. That's very overwhelming. And you're like, how the heck do I get there? Because if you want to do big things, you got to be able to do the small things first. You can't do the big things unless you do the small things. So when I say confidence is a building block, it's a skill set, because you start with a small and you add up. Because again, confidence is keeping the promises you make to yourself. And the best way to keep the promises you make to yourself is to start with the small things, the mundane things. You don't even think about what you should be doing, but you do it. When you wake up, brush your teeth, say you're going to eat breakfast, you eat breakfast, all the small things. And I promise you, you track it, right? And so for me, start with the small things. You physically track what you say and what you do, because that's confidence. You say you're going to do something and you do it. Because a lot of times we think we need to take massive action in order to get massive results. And so I'm here to remind you that it's way more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's way more beneficial, and you have way more longing impact if you build the small things, because you build your foundation. For example, right? The small things. Say you're working out, fitness is a big part of my life. I love working out, take care of myself. When you take care of your body, it takes care of your mind. And when you take care of your mind, body, and your spirit, you're able to take care of yourself. You can help other people take care of other people. So for me, going to the gym is very important. And so going to the gym, do you think you're going to get more gains and more impact if you go once a week for 4 hours every day? Or you think you're going to gain impact if you go 5 times a week for an hour every day? Right? You're going to get more results. You're going to see more results because you keep going consistently in small increments, just an hour at a time. And so number one, keep the promises you make to yourself. Number two is that you start with the small wins. And number three is what I think people have the most problem with. Number three is that confidence is rooted in the intention, in the action itself, and not the outcome. Number three is that confidence is rooted in the intention, in the action itself, and not the outcome. So in this day and age, everyone is so focused on the outcome. Everyone's so focused on seeing the results. But a lot of the times, you're not in control of the outcome. We're not in control of the outcome. The only things that we're truly 100% in control of is the actions that we take and the energy we put out into the universe. And so when we focus on the outcome, we lose sight. We don't plant ourselves in the journey and in the process. When we focus on the outcome, we aren't present in the process. And if we're not present in the process, the outcome is not, you can't comprehend the outcome because you're not processing yourself in the process. And you don't get the outcome unless you be in the process. And so, for example, right? I'm a big sports fan too. A lot of times I'm a big hockey player. I grew up playing hockey. And so in hockey, right, you have the puck and you have your stick. When you shoot the puck, or no matter what sport, in soccer, right, when you shoot the ball on net, it could get hit, it could get tipped, it could get headed by somebody, right? And sometimes it could deflect off somebody. So let's say you're playing soccer, right, and you kick the ball towards the net and you're on defense, or someone kicks the ball towards your net, and all of a sudden you try to hit it off of away and you head it away, but it deflects off your head and goes in the back of your own net. You're not in control. Like, you can try your best, but you're not in control of all the outcomes if something happens, right? And so when we focus on the process, We focus on the action itself. You say you're going to do something and you do it. Boom. That's confidence. Forget the outcome because you're not always in control of your outcome. Somebody might show up and be better than you. Someone might show up one day and be smarter than you, faster than you, bigger than you, stronger than you. That's just how it works. Some days, let's be honest, some days we're just not on our game. We're not on our A game, and that's okay. As long as we actually try and do something and we actually put in the action, you say we're going to do something, we do it. That's where the confidence stems from, is yourself. And so to wrap this all up, for example, again, for me, fitness, the gym has taught me so much about life and is way more than just working out. So, for example, confidence. If I were to walk into the gym for the first time, never worked out a day in my life, and I walk up to the rack of dumbbells, where do you think I should start? I'm not going to start at the hundreds because I've never worked out a day in my life. I'm going to start at the fives or the tens, something you can handle, right? And then over time, as you keep moving that weight, your muscles, they break down and they build and they become strong so you can actually lift more weight, and you keep progressing over time. So you start doing consistent repeated actions. You start keeping the promises you make to yourself. You start to walk a little more swag in your step. And not the cocky swag, but the confident swag, your belief in yourself to say, I'm going to do something, and you do it. And the reason why I want to talk to you about confidence, because I think that's one of the biggest things that people are lacking is their self-confidence, because so many people are thought of what people think about them. So many people are caught up in what other people are doing that we forget to slow down and think, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? What do I have the power to do to make this life? They're doing something. Why can't I? But yes, you can. And so when you keep the promises you make to yourself. When you start with the small wins, as small as the mundane, your habitual things you do on a day-to-day basis, you build that up into small things, then medium things, and then to the larger things. And then once you start to realize that the confidence is rooted in your action, in the intention of you actually wanting to do something, I promise you, your confidence will be undeniable. You have undeniable evidence of who you say you are and what you say you're going to do, and you do it. And the reason why I want you to have so much confidence is because I know you're born to do amazing things. Right? You have God-given talents that are only unique to you, and only you can exemplify to his greatest ability. So I want you to become the best version of yourself that you can be. And the reason I want you to do that, because we know we want to make a global impact. And so lastly, I just want to remind you that life is not about you. What we're doing is not about you. It's way more than just you. Life is not about you, but it starts with you. The ability to grow yourself into the best version of yourself is, yes, to live a life that you dream of, but more importantly, it's to leave a legacy. We here at Mindset Mastery 360, we're dedicated, we're committed to create a legacy that is beyond us, that continues after we're gone, that continues the momentum to change the trajectory of this world, because we know right now more than ever we're divided. And we want to be united. We're all here on this earth. We all want to win. We're all human beings. We all have value to give. And so it's about creating the value in yourself first. When you create that value in yourself first, you see that value in other people. And when you value other people, you put them on a higher pedestal. You see them with a 10 on their head. And when you bring value to people and you add value to them, it creates just an environment of value and love and hope, and just impact and influencing people to be the best versions that they can be. And when we love each other, and then when we help each other grow, we create a standard for our life. Because in life, you don't get what you want, you set your standards. And so just a reminder that you were born to do amazing things. And we're here because we love you, we care about you, we believe in you, and you were born to do amazing things. And so I just want to say thank you for y'all being here. I'm super excited because you're going to learn a lot today. You're going to hear things from a different perspective, and you're going to hear from amazing other people. So thank you. If I can reach any of y'all, if I can help with any single one of you, please contact me or anyone else at 360. And we'd love to provide value to you and support you in any way we can. It's been your boy, Trevor, and I love y'all, and thank you for this opportunity.
Let's give Trevor some love in the chat. Thank you so much, Trevor. Thank you so much for reminding us of those 3 steps. First, we start with the small win, one of my favorites. Start with the small win, and then we go ahead and make sure that we stay rooted in confidence, And that is so, so important, because a lot of times our minds play tricks on us and we end up in a space of self-doubt, fear, and worry. And that right there just takes us 50% off the game of winning in our lives. Thank you so much, Trevor. Oh, yes. Thank you. We see a lot of fire in the chat. All right. So we're on to the next most important part of the conversation where we get into our panel discussion. So panelists, get ready. Here are the instructions of the day. We're asking that when you do come on the microphone, and we're going to put you in the spotlight as well. We want you to just, since we don't have a lot of time, if you can quickly just correctly say your name, because you all know that we don't want, Dr. Kareem always says the most important thing to a person, a human, is their name. And we don't like to mess up your name. So even if we try, because we want to be those gracious moderators, please introduce yourself by saying your name, your country, and just dive into your answer. So for example, I'm Dr. Lisa White from Arizona, USA, and just jump into the answer, okay? That's why we wanted to make sure we post your profiles and things everywhere so people can follow up a little bit more about you and the empowering work you're doing, because we don't have a lot of time here. When we're done with this at the end, we have a little bit of a social gathering and we can get to know each other a little better. So let's bring Dr. Ellis in the spotlight because he is our main moderator of the day. And we're always so grateful. He does a fantabulous job. And I literally say, hey, can you do my part two? So Dr. Kareem, we're getting ready for these panels. We've got 5 vibrant topics, I think, right? And we've got 2 questions for each topic. And today we're diving into some truly awesome stuff. Let me just give you an overview. If you're just tuning in, again, welcome to Ignite the Future Summit 2024. This is part A of the 2-part celebration of International Youth Day by Mindset Mastery 360 Global Movement, our Youth Development Board. This is our initial event and inaugural ITF. So ITF Awards and Summit is not going anywhere. We're bringing this to you also, not just virtually. We're looking forward to having live in-person events throughout the globe. So today's question, the first panel questions we have is digital innovation and leadership. We're going to be talking digital inclusion and equity, digital technologies and sustainable development, youth-driven digital solutions, and then we will finally discuss the future of digital pathways for the youth. So Dr. Kareem, I'm going to hand over to you or stand here with you and just dive into these questions. You're muted, Doc.
Okay, well, sounds great to me. Do we already have our panelists ready to go? I'm only seeing 2 people on my screen right now, so I don't know if we got.
All right, so panelists, let's get our hands up again. We're going to bring you into the spotlight at this time. And listen, even if the question was not necessarily one of yours, you feel free to raise your hands. And in the audience member, because some of our panelists have not been able to make it, and I am not seeing, okay, there's everybody. I can't see raised hands. Trevor, if you would help us put panelists in the spotlight. I'm not sure. How do I do this? It doesn't let me do more than one person. Dr. Kareem. Oh, there we go. Add to spotlight. Found it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be kicking people out. Oh no, it's making me do that, Dr. Kareem.
Yeah, I'm moving on until we get some folks added in here.
Great, we see all right, good. There we go. Dr. Kareem is doing a great job because I know I haven't put one in the spotlight yet. All right, once you get in the spotlight, can you put your hands down? Because that's probably got me confused. Awesome. We can only put you in the spotlight if you have video.
That is correct.
All right, so let's rock and roll. I know that audio might be an issue. It's so wonderful to see you, Ambassador Kutamoa. Did I say it correctly? Doc is ready to go. All right, Dr. Kareem, over to you with the first batch.
Do we have everybody here? Are we missing a few folks? I see some hands still up, so I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure.
know Robert is here. Quite a few is here, but their power is not that great right now. There's some power outage, so they will be coming on microphone. So when it's time to, for example, right now we have, who do we have on the call for this question, Dr. Kareem? Let me see.
So right now we have Samuel's here, Agatha's here,
But
we
I'm
got
looking
Liz
at
here, Trevor here.
All right. I think the first questions belonged to.
Okay.
I'm in lock screen because I'm in Akim, yes. All right. So go ahead, Dr. Kareem, and they'll jump in accordingly.
Okay, sounds good. So for this 45-minute segment, we're going to discuss the concept of digital innovation and youth leadership. I'm going to say it again, digital innovation and youth leadership. One of the things I love so much about technology is is designed primarily to advance us forward. We have gone through a lot of technological changes over the years. Facts about it, it seems like as of late, we've been making leaps and bounds with technology as far as what mankind has been able to achieve and accomplish. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. I want to start the discussion off by throwing this question out there, and I would love for you guys to answer it. Keep in mind to keep your answers relatively short and sweet, so that way we can get the value out of everybody here in the group. The first question I want to ask revolves around this question right here. How are young innovators leveraging digital technology to address pressing global issues and advance the sustainable development goals? I'm going to say that again. How are young innovators leveraging digital technology to address pressing global issues and advance sustainable development goals? And I'll throw that out there for anybody who wants to jump in on that.
Okay, good evening, everyone. This is Agatha from Zambia. Thank you so much, Dr. Kareem. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Dr. Alisa. So from where I'm seated, the way I'm seeing the youths actually, championing innovation, digital, according to the SDGs, is actually they are promoting social inclusion. You find that most of the times the youths are on social media, and also they are coming up with social media literacy in digital. So especially here in Zambia, we have a group of youngsters called Bongo Hive. So they are having almost weekly, meetings where they are on first social media, they meet even physically. They've got hubs where they are coming up with a lot of actually issues to just give the skills that the youths need. So for me, digital literacy, it's number one where I'm seeing the youths actually getting into this game. Let me end there for now. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. I love that response. Anyone else want to tackle and add some value to that? The question is, how are young innovators leveraging digital technology to address pressing global issues and advance sustainable development goals?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
All right. Thank you so much. This is Samo Mshapa, and I'm based in Lusaka, Zambia. So for me, I just want to add on what Madam Agatha has mentioned. It's quite true. Us as young people, we are taking advantage of social media, and we are making good use of it by virtue of us speaking about these sustainable development goals. And for me, I'm so passionate about SDG number 4, which talks about quality education. So you find that us as young people, we are trying to come up with innovative ways on how best we can reach out to other young people, not just in our local communities, but also in other parts of the world. And for example, when you look at how platforms such as LinkedIn, it is promoting a professional way in which us as young people, we are able to voice out on certain key issues that are affecting us. You find that there are issues to do with how young people want to get into politics. So there are those that are so passionate and are using LinkedIn to get in touch, get connected with other people that are into that space. And it is also something that is giving us a learning, because when you look at the theme that we are having for this year's International Youth Day, it is encouraging us to venture into the digital space. And by making good use of that, it is also an indicator to us as the young people to be aware of the current time where we are. I think that's what I can say for now.
Okay. I love that response. Very powerful as well, my friend. So I want to pivot for a second and kind of throw this out there. And this is a little bit more about my personal wonderment of the concept of using digital technology. That the late great philosopher Miles Monroe said, if you don't know the reason for a thing, if you don't know the reason why a thing exists, there's a 99.9% chance you will somehow find yourself abusing it. I'm gonna say it again. If you don't know the reason for a thing, if you don't know the reason why a thing exists, there's a 99.9% chance you'll find yourself somehow abusing it. And so what do you guys think is one of the best ways that the youth don't end up abusing digital innovation? Because as it is right now, one of my concerns, especially with the usage of AI technology, AI can create a lot of things. And while that's great and we celebrate it on one side of the room, on the other side of the room, I'm thinking it's a matter of time before somebody uses it inappropriately. So what do you think are some of the ways that we can teach the youth to keep them from desiring to use AI or use digital technology in a negative way versus a positive way?
Am I audible? Okay, so this is Jimmy Zozi from Zambia, and one of the way we can use to just stop young people from abusing, I call it abusing technologies that we are having, is first of all we must start by raising more awareness of the positive side of it, because young people believe in practicing.
Yes.
So if you haven't provided guidance to young people that these are the negative and the impacts of this, if you do this and do this, these might be the consequences. Young people will end up to start abusing media in the negative way. One of ways which I've seen technologies being abused. There's let me first start by just social media. There's been a lot of cyberbullying, particularly in my country. So instead of young people using information to just advance their understanding, advance their technologies, but young people have used it for more of cyberbullying, and we've seen young people being on the other side of the law, including being arrested. So if we can raise more awareness on the positive side and just raise more awareness, okay, we can do this. There are other people that are doing this and making it out of such innovations. Otherwise, technologies brightening our future. A lot of young people are making it through.
I love it. I love that response. Anyone else want to add to that? I mean, that's a great response. I don't know if anyone else wants to add some more value to that.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, yeah, thank you. My name is Adwale from Nigeria. So fantastic contribution. So I would like to say one of the ways that we can mitigate the abuse of, abusing the AI and other tools is we creating a platform whereby people would feel belong, right? A platform where like-minded people are, a platform where it gives young innovators, mentorship, putting them in the right track. Because the truth is that everyone wants to belong in an association or, in a space where they feel accepted. So creating a platform, accepting them and directing them in the right path. So creating a platform.
Okay. I love it. Great response as well. Here's a different question for you, and I think this one is a solid question as well, and I'll throw it out there again for anyone who wants to chime in and get it. What do we do to keep technology from becoming a crutch to the youth? In other words, I remember going to a local store here in the States, and as I was ringing out my order of food, what ended up happening was their power went down on the cash register. And the young individual was struggling on how to count back my change because they was so used to typing in buttons and giving numbers and addition and subtraction. I could tell they didn't know how to do it on the spot. And so with technology is kind of a cheat code to success. But even with the cheat code, you still got to know how to do the long math or the long division in life. And so is there anything you think we can do as the adults in the room that ensures that technology does not become a crutch for the youth?
Maybe yes. Let me just add on my view as well
Sure.
on that question. So I'll share an experience which is similar to what you've mentioned, whereby in primary school when we started using calculators, because they are not allowed, right? Well, after just starting using them, I think I got very used using calculators to the point whereby even if I have to do 5 plus 4, I just have to go on the calculator, and I found myself having difficulties in real life situation whereby someone gives you a practical, what is this and this, then I have to count. It becomes so difficult too. One thing which we can do is we have to make young people realize that even in the digital world, man, okay, we'll say a person will remain superior because he's the master to technologies. Once we start, we allow technology to control human life. It's like we are giving the technology the ability to begin to replace man. Man don't want. We don't need to replace man because man is the master of technology. Though it's a bit hard because that's where we are going. You find someone is the handwriting is very, very pathetic. If we try to encourage them, the excuse is that we're living in the digital world. Who cares if you can't read my handwriting when I can easily translate it to digital codes, then someone is able to read. But our emphasis is that we should not replace man with ICT or whatever we can use. Young people should understand that they are the masters and not the digital world to be masters of them. I think that can only be a way to just make young people realize that they are the masters.
I love that. Great response. Great response. Trevor, our keynote speaker, had dropped the gem in the chat. He says that technology is a tool to make the fundamentals easier to execute, not to replace the fundamentals. And that's one of my concerns, because as technology carries us forward and fast into our future, a lot of the fundamentals are easily replaced by folks not realizing why the foundation has to be in place. So there was a question that Trevor threw out there that I'll go ahead and include into this this panel discussion here. How are young innovators using technology to address global issues? How are young innovators using technology to address global issues?
Hello, can you get me?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, well, we know that youth possess a very, very vibrant potential to come up with ideas and also in policy making. Okay, when we talk about technology, we find that young men and women are coming up with initiatives that are addressing a lot of issues. Talk of in the health sector, we find that youths are coming up with apps, talk of mobile health and telemedicine for platforms, and that are quite good and very important when it comes to addressing health care issues. And also, we find that we are talking of, for example, apps that offer mental health services. We also have platforms that can offer mental health advices as well. So, meaning these platforms are quite good, and they are addressing they are offering health services to people that are in sketchy areas where they cannot easily access healthcare issues. Even when it comes to education, there are platforms that have been innovated, that have been put up, and that offering education ideas that are being used for education purposes, where people who cannot easily access healthcare education, they can just go online on social media platform and access education, and life goes on. So many youths can really revamp and become champions in as far as technology is concerned, and offer a solution to challenges that are being faced by humanity. Thank you.
Okay, great answer. I love that. Again, got a different question. I'll throw it out there again. This is for anyone that wants to jump in and take it. What are some of the most promising digital innovations led by youth that have had a significant impact on their communities? I'll repeat the question. What are some of the most promising digital innovations led by the youth that have had a significant impact on their communities?
Okay, evening, Agatha again. I'll still refer to one of a youth-led, digital platform in Zambia. It's called Bongo Hive, because it has received even recognition from the government. They are working in partnership with even USAID because of the things that they are doing. So they actually bring young people, startups who want to be entrepreneurs. It was founded by young Zambian youths, and also they provide this hub of technology. So they, like I said, they have these monthly meetings where they are training, they are providing mentorship, and they've been even able to get some grants for some of the startups companies for the youths, especially in the digital world. So those are some of the things. Then there's a young person again who has come up with an app. If you want, for example, a truck to deliver goods for you, so you just go on his app and you'll be able to see all sorts of trucks, pricing, and you give them the location. So it has really helped the community to be able to deliver goods from one end to another efficiently. So in the world also, there are apps that are being developed by also the youths, that sometimes you don't actually need to go to the hospital, but just in the comfort of your home, you can actually find a doctor on the mobile phone, tell them your issue, and they can actually prescribe. So just some of those initiatives that are coming from the youth. Thank you, Dr. Karim.
Thank you so much, Agatha. I love that response. Would anyone else like to chime in? Does anyone else know of any of... Go ahead.
Yes, I want to say, my name is Bosede. I'm from Nigeria. I also want to talk of some innovation, digital innovation from young youth in Nigeria. Like when we talk of PiggyVest, it's like how you can make a savings per day. I know of the lady, maybe she will be around her 30 now, and she has started for like almost 10 years ago when immediately she finished from university. From that app, you can make a savings every day, maybe 20 naira or 100 naira, like you wish. And when you want to withdraw your money, you can withdraw. And when we talk of Fluster Waves, is also youth started the cluster wave too. Those are the innovation from youth, and many of it. We can talk of e-commerce platform that have been running by youth. We have some when you need maybe an artisan to do something for you, you can connect with them. I made some. I want to repair a refrigerator in my house. I just sign up on a platform on Facebook, and I saw an artisan came to my house to work for me. Those are the innovation that we can see that has improved so many years that we have seen by youth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anybody else want to add value to this? What are some of the promising digital innovations led by you?
I have a little bit.
Great.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Thanks a lot. One of the advancement that I've seen is on Sustainable Development Goal number 13. That is climate action, and also innovation on SDG 1 and SDG 2. So having in mind that methane, those in agriculture understand that methane is one of the gases that are contributing to global warming. And we have seen a lot of innovation from young people coming on board, where they try to reduce the release of methane, and coming up with technologies like biodigester on in a small scale, whereby if they make these innovations, even an ordinary farmer can able to use such innovation. You don't need to go to school and start learning rocket science. They're just in an easy way, and these things are being run by young people. The other thing which I've seen, though I haven't just seen it on a very large scale, is a personal experience I had from school. Yeah. Currently, what is happening in Zambia is that the government has declared drought as a crisis. So it is a crisis, and I've seen a lot of young people coming up with innovations that are able to predict when we are going to have the next drought, and these are really helping in early warnings to just government to secure food security. Then last but not least is what Madam Agatha has mentioned, and my other colleagues in health sector. We've observed a lot of application from my country. We've got what is called my Own You app. It's there on Play Store, whereby information on sexual rights, how to get a doctor, to know some symptoms, and in a very creative way, whereby it's easy for young people to access information there. We understand that sometimes young people might find difficulty to access just counselors in clinics, because sometimes they might feel intimidated, like, okay, that they're too big. But with such applications, it's easy to talk to someone, a medical doctor, and just organize meetings with them in a special way, including counselors. Such a promising apps and innovations. Yeah,
I love it. Dr. Lisa, were you going to add something? Because I got another question for him.
Got a question. Jimmy has given us a wealth of knowledge. Thank you, Jimmy. No, one of the things that made me really excited is when I realized that young people were part of the development and the innovation of mobile health clinics in underserved areas. And also the other thing is bringing that, like what they did was do a creation of like a virtual reality type educational platform. Like I knew that those technologies existed and those innovations were there. I did not realize how many youths were really behind that, and that initiative was something that helped to improve health and education outcomes in a lot of underserved communities. I believe that was specifically in the Congo some time ago. They started doing that when they were like in the 2022, it became very popular, and it was the young people who kind of adapted that technology that was already out here in the world, but using what they had to really move getting healthcare and stuff, supplies to villages that are in remote, underserved areas. So that's just phenomenal to me, and I just had to share that.
Thank you so much for adding that in there. That's value as always. I know I'm always going to get value out of you no matter what. I know you're going to chime in and give us something to work with. So we're getting ready to land the plane on this panel discussion. So I got 2 questions I got to throw out there. For any of the youth that's watching this today, and they want to go into the world of digital technology, and they have a heart's desire to make the world better, is there a certain arena that you would recommend the youth focus on if they want to make an impact and change on this planet when it comes to digital technology and innovation? Is there a certain arena you would say, if I were you, I would go to school and aim myself towards this, because this is going to be the impact player beyond 2024, beyond 2025? And I'd love to hear from all the panelists on this particular question here.
Hello. Am I audible enough?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So my name is Lawrence Nachidze, and I'm from Zambia. So before I begin, there's a quote from the inventor of World Wide Web, Tim Berners. He said, "The web is for everyone, and collectively we hold the power to change it. And it's up to all of us to build a web that really reflects this principle." So the technology that right now that people would want to venture in, it's something that I've also been interested in venturing. So what's up and what's trending right now? It's what we call blockchain and Web3. So right now, I've realized that most of the youth are venturing this type of technologies because it's able to give people the access to creating virtual reality trainings. I can give an example of one person who tried to create a virtual reality training for people who are doing electric, plumbing, where you can easily learn by just being on your phone or having that certain technology. So if us as the youth, people should actually venture into such things, because it's something that's coming up and it's really being hot, because everyone is switching to Meta, the metaverse. For example, even Facebook itself, they are now called Meta. This is because that's what's on the desk and that's what's on the ground. So us as youth, this is something that we should also fall interested in venture in. It's because it's going to give us the power to actually have control of what we actually can do on the internet, what we can actually do as a youth, and what actually can give us the ability to be innovative, even if you're not on the technical aspect. There's this space gives you the platform to actually come up with something, even when you're in the business sector, any sector. Because if you people are able to get into a space where you're free to actually do anything, you have got digital marketing. That's what's trending. You have got e-commerce. Now, people are now going to shopping online other than having physical offices, because now that's what's happening. That's the thing now. I think.
Okay. Can I add on to what Lawrence? Okay, thanks. I like what Lawrence has mentioned, including on digital marketing. With me, I say if someone wants to go into technology, it's not limited. As long as you are dealing with the 5 P's which you told us, because the world of problems is a world of solutions, right? So if you are coming up with innovation that is dealing with the people, okay, you want to improve the welfare of the people, that's a good area to go, because people are facing a lot of challenges and problems. Then if you want to protect the environment, right now, our planet, right now, the battle that we are facing almost everywhere is a battle of safeguarding the planet from climate change. So that is changing. If you check some recent report, they're saying Zambia and many other countries, we failed actually to achieve some national policies, national development plans, and including not reaching where we're taking SDGs because of climate change as one of the challenges. So if as a young person, you want to go into innovations and you feel like, okay, let me do something about the planet. That's a good way. Let's secure the planet, because we've got a battle right now. The Earth is in intensive care unit. So any innovation that you bring on board that is protecting the planet is good. The other ones, which Lawrence is from mentioning, prosperity. No one hates prosperity. We from our first speaker, I got a lot of insight. You have to make it. So if there's any innovation that you can put in place that is going to help people prosper in life, if people want to partner, there's an innovation that is able to solve problems, challenges that people have in making partnership. That's a great innovation. So those 5 P's that that we were talking about: prosperity, peace, partnership, as long as you're solving challenges in there, that's an area to go. Remember, a country of problems is a country of solutions. So the solutions, the problems, our solutions and opportunities.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. So 2 things I've learned. Number 1 is money is a tool, right? It gives you the ability to build things to make the planet better. But number 2, money is the reward for solving a problem. So if you ever have an issue with money, your job is to figure out what is the biggest, baddest problem on the planet that I am equipped and designed and qualified to solve based on my gift, my talent, my education, my expertise, and my connections, and get to doing the hard work of solving the problem. And money will never be an issue. Money will always be the pathway to your door. So I love that idea and I love that concept. We're getting ready to wind down. So I want to ask this last question, and this is for all the panelists. We can keep it short. We can keep it sweet. I love the idea of creativity. And the reason why I love creativity so much, because creativity is one of the gifts you get when you come onto the planet. Unlike education, where you got to go to school and learn and regurgitate and pass tests and pass exams, right? Creativity comes with you prepackaged. It comes locked inside your genetic code, your DNA. You just have to identify it, explore it, and learn how to master it. So in terms of creativity, is there any piece of digital technology that exists right now that literally just blew your mind when it came out? Was there something, like for me growing up, I'm a child of the 80s. And so we always watched cartoons where we would see digital screens where we could communicate, right? We watched the Jetsons, we watched Inspector Gadget, we watched all these cartoons with digital technology. We grew up watching Star Wars, and so we saw them talking to each other across screens. And so when digital technology allowed us to do what we're doing now, I thought to myself, that was very cool. Is there any digital technology right now that blows your mind that we have it?
Can I say something, Dr. Kalim?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for that great question. For me, I would pick out one social media that most young people are making good use of, and that's TikTok. You find that there's a way young people are making good use of creativity when it comes to advertising different products that are offering, but as well as looking at advertising different events. There's just there's just this brilliance that is in young people, where they are able to come up with a certain with content in such a way that it draws the attention of the general public. And I would want to mention one aspect based on how young people are leveraging this innovation, digital innovation. You look at maybe not just in the space of education, look at the music industry. There are certain young people that have ventured into the music industry, and they are using social media to create a brand for themselves. That is a way in which they are also trying to market themselves to across the whole world. Say somebody wants to be invited in the US, that side, to come and perform, and they are from as far as maybe Africa, or maybe they are from a different continent. So through social media, they will be able to create content that will make them marketable. So it speaks to us as young people to say that when we look at how social media is, we need to put into consideration that we market our brand in such a way that it becomes it becomes marketable, and it is desirable by the majority population. But besides that, I thought of also mentioning another aspect where technology and entrepreneurship are being married. We find that when people are coming up with entrepreneur events, there are these young people that are brought on board to create graphic designs. And even this event that we are having, it is a product of initiatives from young people to take advantage of the digital innovation that is there and the creativity that is embedded in us to come up with the best way to design the flyers and all these wonderful things that we are seeing. So I say personally that innovation is important, but we need to understand to say that we need to attach a lot of learning. But besides learning, we need to attach passion to what we do. And as we add creativity to everything that we do, let's learn, because once we discover purpose, different people that will be buying into what we are trying to showcase to the world. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I love that response. That was a very, very powerful response. He not only took that plane in the air, he kept it up there long enough, gave us all the gems we needed, and landed that plane
Yes,
safely.
he said the marriage of innovation and entrepreneurship. And I'm like, okay, how did I miss this wedding? Was it in Nigeria? Did we have it Igbo style? What did we do?
I absolutely love it. All right, we got time for one more person to answer that question before we jump into the next set of panel discussions. So again, it's open floor for anybody that wants it. What is the one piece of digital technology that you saw and it just blew your mind wide open, where you said, I can't believe we have this?
Okay. I can also add on to what Summer has mentioned. With me as well, it's TikTok as number one, because I've seen there are a lot of it. It allows a lot of creativity coming to play. So it has got a lot of tools for young people, graphic designing, and it's so amazing to find in a short clip someone is able to communicate a lot of information at once. But the other it's Meta, Facebook. I just love the way they've kept on.
Uh-oh, I think we may have lost him temporarily. I think he may have had some Wi-Fi issues here. Let's see. Okay. Well, he was giving good value, so I'm going to go ahead and land the plane on this panel discussion at this point. Overall, I want to thank all the panelists that contributed to this first section of today's powerful talk, all about digital enhancement. And we're going to land the plane and take the plane back off yet again with another group of panelists. The biggest takeaway that I got personally is when value is not known, abuse is inevitable. And so it's our job as individuals of greatness and leaders for the next generation to make sure we understand the value of digital technology so it does not get abused and used the wrong way. So all my panelists, do me a huge favor. If you'll take a brief second to go to the chat and just type your information in there for anyone who wants to connect with you based on some of the values and gems that you dropped. And again, I want to thank everybody here for it. And Dr. Lisa, if we can clear the slate and we get the next group up here, we'll jump into the second wave of the panel discussion. While we're removing and adding people on, I'm going to leap into the chat real quick and just give some of the feedback we got from some of the folks that's here today. Vanessa Evelyn said, yes, there's currently an app when we're talking about technology that's connecting persons to artisans who would have been vetted previously. And this is great for singles, especially ladies, who may need someone to repair an appliance or does not know someone personally. It allows that safe feeling within the home. And speaking of that, there's an app that we use here in the States that connects us with homeowners that will actually watch your pets for you. I travel so much at this point in time, and some of the fees to place your pets in professional kennels can skyrocket. And so they got an app there that now allows you to connect with folks that have been vetted that will actually watch your pets from the privacy of their own home. And oftentimes it's a better value and a safer value. So I'm loving the way technology is moving us forward. Let's give the panelists again a round of applause for their value that they added today. I think everyone took away something of value. And Dr. Lisa, we set the stage here for the next round of individuals who are going to showcase their greatness today. Are we ready to go? Or
yes, everyone here has kind of selected the questions, so they're going to jump in as they're ready. So take off, Dr. Kareem.
Okay, sounds good. So for this next portion, you don't want to do the networking break real quick, or do you want to just jump directly into the next panel discussion?
Let's jump and we'll take a break after this one.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so for this next panel discussion, we are going to talk all about digital inclusion and equity. I'm gonna say that again, digital inclusion and equity. Now, of course, there may be some folks here that's not familiar with the topic, so I'll bring up what digital inclusion is all about. Digital inclusion is the idea that everyone should have safe, equitable, and meaningful access to digital technologies, services, and opportunities. I'm gonna say that again. Digital inclusion means that every single person on this planet should have safe, equitable, and meaningful access to digital technology, services, and opportunities. And as it stands right now, we know there are certain places where they don't have access to these things, which is not helping them, is actually hindering them. And so we're going to start our conversation there. All right. And again, I'm going to throw the question out there, and whoever wants to leap in and tackle that question, I'll leave that 100% up to you. The first question is this: what strategies can be implemented to bridge the digital divide and ensure equitable access to digital technologies and skills for all young people? What strategies can be implemented to bridge the digital divide and ensure equitable access to digital technology and skills for all young people?
I want to answer the question. My name is Bosede. My name is Bose from Nigeria. I would like to say that the first strategy is expanding infrastructure in underserved area. Like now, let me cite Nigeria as an example. We have 3 arms of government. We have federal, state, and local governments. Like now, I work with women as NGO. I impact women. And when you go to this rural area, you will see that some of the rural area, they lack access to internet. They don't have internet facilities. In all these low-income area, I believe that the government and private sectors, they can partner together to provide affordable internet. I will cite an example. We do postpaid and prepaid internet service in Nigeria. Some of us that do postpaid, that maybe we pay, like now you do 1.5 gig for so maybe for 1,000 naira for 30 days. But you can see that within 30 minutes in a day, if you use internet much, the internet will finish. You understand? But most of the people in this rural area, they cannot afford these internet services. But if governments, maybe local governments or private sectors, they can put a hotspot in all this local area, all this rural area, that most of these women or young people, they can access free internet facilities. And I also want to say that we at the urban city, we have many privileges. Why people living in the rural area, they don't have that privileges. Some of this rural area, they don't have access to electricity. Like 2 days ago, I empowered some women in some rural area. There's no electricity. If you go to the area, the internet is fluctuating. But this is where the government and the private sectors, they can come together to this community to give them low income, to give them hotspots, mobile broadband, so that they can have access to internet. And this will make them to be inclusive in digital technology. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. I love the value of that question. Trevor's giving a hand clap on that one. She was thorough with that one.
I want to jump in really quick. I know somebody, this is one of my hottest, and you guys know I get charged up sometimes. If you know me very well, I get real charged up. And this is one of the things when it comes to technology, it's somehow we feel like it's an option and it should be a privilege. I think right after food, clothing, shelter, the next human need, if Maslow was supposed to redo his theory of the hierarchy of needs, it would be technology. There is absolutely it's non-negotiable. So I feel like the first thing is government and organizations and interest partners, or whatever you want to call them, all these people who think they're in charge of something, they need to look at it as a necessity and approach it from that way. As Theo said, she was saying that, you know, I have the privilege of living in central Nigeria, in the capital near Abuja or Lagos or all these things. It's like a totally different world. 10 miles out in the villages, there's no electricity. We all see the youth and the talent we have here on screen today, and we also are here watching them get in and on and off of Zoom. We see them holding their phone. We have youth here who has dynamic message to bring to the world, but they can't come on camera because they can't do electricity and internet at the same time. They're praying to God that this event goes in enough time that they get to give their voice to the world, and the electricity and the batteries on their phone doesn't go out. That's because we have government and leaders who treat it as an option for the masses, and so a privilege for the others. So first of all, to be in the inclusive space is, we talk about gender equality, we talk about all that stuff, which is great conversation, but we've heard enough of that. Let's look at technological equality, where everyone gets electricity and access to internet. Just let's start there. We'll figure out devices, okay? Because we can scoop up a 20,000 Naira, and you guys know I deal with Nigeria and Ghana a lot, so I know the money. You can get that faster and buy a phone, but then what is the use of having a nice phone and you can't connect it to anything? When you do get paid for the internet, as she described, where's the electricity? Technology is all electricity. Is one of the biggest technological advances of the human race, yet it is not readily available to everyone. So we can't even start talking about having an Opus, which I don't have one yet. Is that what it's called? An Opus where we can go into 3D and play around. So just start with electricity and internet. You know, we're working on that Zambia project, Dr. Karim, and you know, one of our biggest battles to even try to put education in place is the fact that they don't have access to internet. Then, as Agatha showed us, there is a room and table set with no computer. So again, inclusivity means it is not an option or a privilege, it is a necessity. That's the mindset shift that needs to be had, and I yield.
Very well said, Dr. Lisa, as always, and you are correct. That is one of the biggest challenges we're dealing with the Zambia project, you know, is missing those necessary, those foundational tools needed to operate off of. So I 100% agree with you on that. I want to bounce back to that original question because I think we got some more value in this panel discussion that will answer that. The original question we threw out there is what strategies can be implemented to bridge the digital divide and ensure equitable access to digital technologies and skills for all young people. I see Jimmy has his hand raised. We got you as well.
Can I come?
Yes.
Yes.
So, I think, okay, my name is Lawrence again. One of the other strategies I think we can use is localized content and services. To truly engage with all communities in the digital space, it's important to create content and services that are relevant to their needs and available in their local languages. This is this may not only increase the usefulness of digital tools, but can also encourage more people to adopt and use these technologies. Another thing that we can look at also is digital literacy programs, establishing like education programs that we can integrate into formal schools, maybe at early stages, regardless of background, gender, or certain characteristics that may stop people from actually being able to access this wonderful opportunity. We can go beyond schools, like community centers, or especially not-profit organizations can also play a crucial role in offering digital literacy, like training all age groups, whether you're very young or old, as long as they are able or capable of at least having access to this. Because you find that most of the times, like we have been saying, most people in the Euro areas don't really know how to use English, right? But if it can be in their local languages, then it would be easier for them to actually adopt to be included. Yeah, thank you.
Lawrence, are you still there?
Great.
You muted.
Yes, actually, I'm done.
He yielded, yeah.
Oh, he yielded. Okay. Yeah, it kind of cut out a little bit on the first, so I wasn't sure if he had landed the plane or not. Okay, so I agree with Lawrence as well. Jimmy, you have your hand up. You want to add some value?
Yes, just to agree to what my colleagues have mentioned, and also what Dr. Alisa mentioned. One principle that I know is that it's hard to develop in an environment where there's no motivation. So in every digital space that we want to create, there must be motivation for people to understand that having a digital platform is not a privilege, but that's where we're going. But what is happening right now, it's more like a privilege. People cannot innovate to have a lot of ideas coming on board, even though they come with ideas, is that devices to use, spaces to work on. These things are rare. Actually, the Zambian government recently released a national youth policy, and it acknowledged that up to now we don't even have innovation hubs. If perhaps we can create innovation hubs where great mindset are able to be nurtured and be motivated, and we're going to see a lot of young innovators coming on board. I like to agree to the issue of networks. We cannot be in 21st century whereby even just this meeting, I'm sure you've seen having challenges just even to add in an input because of no power, no network. There's less motivation. If we put in motivation, then that's great. Then the other point, which is very important, is that let's make sure that digital space, a safe space. We make sure them to know that they're very safe. The people that even have phobia up to now because of bullying that comes in with innovation, particularly the cyber space. There's a lot of crimes, a lot of abuse that are taking place. Such activities hinders innovations taking place. But the key thing, let's promote motivation. Where there's no motivation, there's no development at all.
I love it. I love it. Great answer as well. Agatha, I see you decided to jump in. Agatha, what do you have for us?
Thank you so much. So I wanted to actually add on to say, apart from having that internet accessibility that we've talked about, for me, I think with the project that Dr. Lisa talked about, the things that are just now coming up to say, for example, yes, in Zambia, the aspiration from the government is that all schools should have computers. I think she talked about even a classroom that I shared where there are just desks, working places, but no computers. And engaging with the teachers on the ground, you find that, yes, when you go to secondary school, you go to college, universities, you start finding computers here and there. But primary, they said in most schools, they don't have computers, they don't have access to any online or digital learning. So for me, one of the strategies is that we start it early. You go to a school, a primary school, it's only the head teacher and the vice that have got laptops. Everyone else doesn't have laptops. So I think for me, those are some of the interventions that should be put in place, because if the teacher is not digitally literate, do we think they can pass it on to the students? Not at all. So even as we talk about the digital mindset shifting, we have to start with the teachers, the ones that are passing it on to the students. Thank you so much.
Agatha brings forward a very, very valid point. Leadership trickles from the head down. And so I do agree with that. That technology has to be taught to the teachers so it becomes a norm for the students. I think that is something that we don't really look at, which kind of jumps me into a different question. And Agatha actually kind of beat me to the punch on it, so to speak. So I'll throw this in there right now.
Dr. Kareem,
yes.
Halumba had his or her hand up. I don't
Okay.
know if it's the same question or they can wait to add a submission to the one you're asking.
Sure. Halumba, what do you have for us?
Thank you. Good evening here, and I think it's good morning there. My name is Halumba Munachonga. I'm based in Zambia in the Copper Belt region. I run an organization called Ndola Nutrition Organization, and I thought that I should add a voice to the discussion on the table. I think that for us to develop a sustainable strategy to mitigate the digital divide, we need to also look at We also need to look at that the challenge is basically the challenge is more to do with accessibility before we talk about connectivity. So we need to look at how do we design a strategy to mitigate accessibility. I mean the infrastructure, and I mean that the youths in the rural areas should have access either to smartphones or even to computers. Then from there, that is when we can talk about connectivity. I can tell you now that when we go into the rural areas, as we work in the rural areas, you find that most of the youths don't even have smartphones. The only phones they have are small phones. And to make the matters worse, for them to even make a call, they have to go to the anthill. So how do we mitigate that challenge? Which means that we need to design strategies that, for example, like community hubs, like my colleague who has mentioned, where we develop community hubs that are centralized, where we see that there is connectivity or there is internet here in this area. Then we put those infrastructure, and then we educate them to come there to come and learn. From there, they will be motivated. Even as we provide smartphones to them, they will be motivated to learn more. I thank you.
Sounds wonderful. I love it. I love it. Ambassador Coach, I see your hand up as well.
Hello, blessings everyone. So my motivations to this is just to continue to spread the word, continue to go into the community, keep on spreading the word to the people, keep on promoting, keep on being focused. All right, just keep on making the connections, keep on making collaborations, because you know what it says in the Bible, faith without work is dead. So we got to keep on having the faith, but we also got to keep on putting the work and keep on being action. Do not get distracted. And so that's my take on that.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, a dream that lacks action is nothing more than a wish. And though Walt Disney has taught the world that when you wish upon a star, dreams come true. They don't come true without action. I've seen a lot of stagnant folks that had wishes that didn't have action applied to them. So I absolutely agree. Faith is an action word. I thought we had one more hand up real quick. Ferdinand, did you still want to chime in?
I also see Innocent's hand.
Oh, okay. Innocence. I apologize. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the floor given. So the strategy I will suggest is for the government, even the government, to implement, to integrate, digital learning in the school curriculum. So I'm from a country where, digital technology is not even included in the teaching curriculum. So most of our studies are mainly based on theories, not practical. While we are living in the world, in the modernized world, where it all depends on how you master the technology and are aware of what is happening in the world through the means they are using. The mobile phone, the internet. I made a baccalaureate degree in the contents, 3 years. But what I got, it's mainly based on computer science. using how to type computer, how to register, and how to do this. But all the classes I got were theoretical. While the school I went was a public school, the number one in Burkina Faso, the number one technical school in Burkina Faso, where digital is not included in school curriculum. How is that possible? There are we from the first generation families, our parents we don't have access of these computers to train ourselves. So we have to pay maybe expensive fees to have some special programs or some special training in order to get aware of these things. While those people, like rich children, in the same classroom, those parents have already, some companies where they can get this patient and acquaint themselves at the same time with the workers. So so to bridge that gap, the government have to include digital learning in the school curriculum so that the students, the learners, will learn it together at the same time, following the classes. This is what I would like to suggest. Thank you.
Okay, I love that.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead.
That was from Burkina Faso, guys. He's all the way in Burkina Faso, where there's still a lot of underdeveloped places when it comes to technology.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So I want to pivot the question to something different here. We've heard a couple of the different issues with digital inclusion. One of the things I want to know at this point in time is what can we do to draw importance to digital inclusion, where there's certain governments where they have not made this the most important thing, right? What are some of the things you think we can do that's going to draw importance to this issue? I got everybody stumped with that question. Got to be somebody. What do you think we can do that's going to draw importance to the issue of digital inclusion?
I want to say something.
Sure.
My name is Bosede from Nigeria. I believe that what the government can do to make for this digital inclusion, I've been typing it, like all those rural areas. Those companies that are making phone, that are producing phone, they design phone, if they can come up with phones that can access some app without internet, it can be all these small mobile phone. And all our banks, like now, some banks, they have codes that you can input the code if you want to access your accounts, if you want to withdraw money, if you want to make transfer, you want to do. If they can come up with that type of phones, that those people in the rural area, the phone will be affordable and they can access some basic app like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, some basic app so that they can use that phone without internet. At least those phones, they will be available. And also, when we go to our rural area, we have many of the young people that doesn't even know anything about internet. Talkless, they don't even have phones. If governments and private sectors and NGOs, if all of us, we can partner together and we go to this rural area and we give them digital literacy in alternate way in their local languages, not regular in their local languages, and we teach them that there's going to be a lot of program. We mobilize them, we train them on digital literacy as in basic one. Majority of them, they don't even have emails. You know, they don't have emails. We start from that emails, they can access their bank, and we partner with also bank, that the bank, they go to those villages, they open an account for them, they teach them on how to use code from their small phones to access their bank accounts. And we also guide them of cyber security because that is the major one. the cyber security, because most of these women that they even have an account, they are also scared of using mobile phone, because anybody can take the phone and take all their monies. But if they guide them on, lecture them on cyber security in their local languages, not, they should shift from the urban city now and move to the rural area, because there are a lot of young people that they don't even have access to internet. But if they can come up with that mobile app, with mobile phones that can access all the basic app without internet, that will be a great thing that they can do for these people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We got some hands raised here from folks inside the chat here. So Agatha, if you want to go ahead and take yourself off mute, and what value would you like to add?
Okay, thank you so much. So for me, Dr. Karim, you said, what can we do? First and foremost, we are the change that we want to see. So it's us here. What can we do? Earlier in the conversation, we talked about the power that the youths have regarding digital. There is the social media campaigns. We have seen youths change directions, even of the government. In Zambia, it happened. So we are the voice, so that we can now start raising our voices that digital now is not luxury, but it is a necessity. It is a right for each and every one of us, that rural child. So for me, it starts with us here. Even as we push the government to make it a policy that digital accessibility is a right and everyone is supposed to have access. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ernest, you got your hand raised as well.
Thank you. I'm definitely agreeing and really enjoying this conversation, because we're all talking about the practical way of making sure that we have digital inclusivity, because what we've seen is that people in the rural areas, even their access to education is really limited. And when you go there, it's quite pathetic. So the starting point for me would also be what Ma'am Nochi mentioned, where she was talking about making sure that we pick up the language, because in there, if we focus on making sure that things are maybe in English or some other official language, we will definitely exclude them. So even the apps that we may decide to use, we make sure that they are able to use the law.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I got someone here where I don't have the necessary the name. I just have iPhone. So iPhone, if you want to contribute to the chat, I'm hoping
Nelson, that's you. Come on, Nelson, iPhone. He's technology itself.
And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that. I think I didn't have enough time to sign into my Google. If you can hear me, can somebody let me know?
Yes, you're coming through.
All right. So what I want to actually include is that I'm actually into IT. I am Ambassador Ndubisi Nelson from Nigeria. What I actually think that the government should actually look into now for us is including digital literacy as part of the educational curriculum. The reason is that if we can get these young ones to start using phone freely as a device to help them in future, I think when they advance to about 10, 15 years, they would be more advanced than even us. Because there are women there that cannot use phone, not because of that, not actually because of security of whatever that can happen with their money in bank. There are people that can do business with your mobile devices without even having to put your money in the bank, but they can't use phone. They can't see the importance of phone. They see the importance of how do I put it? They see the importance of buying.
Yep, we got you.
The importance of buying something tangible for themselves better than maybe investing in learning this digital skill. Is that coming from you? Sorry.
And we know, we got it. We're sorry, Nelson.
So that's basically it. We need government to intervene in our educational system. We need this young brain to know that they could actually use MS Excel to do things better than just being bored. Like me, there are some certain software that before I didn't want to ever go to in my life, but now learning all those software from one after the other makes up a whole lot of things. So we need to invest in teach. Even parents that are watching this, they need to allow their children. They don't need to see their children, okay, playing puzzle games on your phone. Now, this is something very difficult. This opens creativity. You'll be like, okay, let me try out this move. Does it work? But your parents doesn't see it that way. People's parents see it as, okay, once this child's looking into a phone, the child has spoils, and Nigerian mentality, whenever you are always busy with your phone, the idea is that you are a bad boy, either that you are a Yahoo boy, looking for people to fraud online, or maybe you're doing a fake business. But actually, there are people who use phone to go to school. Somebody like me, I wasn't able to go to university, but at least I believe I went to school. I schooled myself, and it was all due to my phone. And then people can still do it. Even parents, old and young people can still do it. So my own is just, we should just vitalize learning digital literacy. Thank you.
I love it. I love that response as well. You guys is giving some value today. You guys is going above and beyond the Call of Duty. Now, I got to do this, right? I got to do it because, Vanessa, I see you on the panel and I see you clapping, but I ain't heard from you yet. But I know you typed something in that chat that was a response. So, dear, if you would take yourself off mute and give us your reply, because I think it's powerful enough for those who are not able to read the chat to be able to hear what your thoughts are on the topic.
Hi everyone, I'm Vanessa. So what I was just saying is that digital inclusion is a long-term investment because most of the people give access to technology to places who may not have it right now, and who may be experiencing some sort of problem, and like giving them access to that technology, they would be able to now see technology as a way to solve that issue that they may be experiencing, and that will allow for more innovative solutions to come forward and in certain allow us to advance further rather than maybe kind of like spinning in order trying to figure out certain solutions to problems from a top-down approach rather than a bottom-up approach. Gives citizens the power to advance or to get solutions for themselves.
So I love that response. Now I'm gonna be up front. Your microphone's a little garbled, so it was a little hard to hear. I got it clearly, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the additional value of reading what you had typed in there just in case. So your reply was digital inclusion will allow for more advancement. Somewhere, someone may be experiencing an issue which can be solved through digital access. Give access and watch how to utilize it to solve that issue. And you stated you totally agree, and I couldn't sum that up even better. I think there is so much value in understanding how it hurts individuals and organizations and countries when they don't have equal access to digital technology, right? We know some of the leading countries in the world are leading in part because of their access to digital technology and there within. So I love the fact you guys are all chiming in and throwing that value in there. I want to get ready to land the plane on this part of the panel discussion. So I want to ask one more question on the way out the door. And again, this is for anyone who wants to jump out there and add the value. This is a little bit more specific. This question states, how can we support and empower young women to become leaders in the digital space and overcome barriers to digital inclusion. I'm gonna say that again. How can we support and empower young women to become leaders in the digital space and overcome barriers to digital inclusion? And Lawrence has his hand raised, so I'll grab Lawrence first. So Lawrence, what you got? All right, we got a little bit of a time, so we will segue over to Ambassador Coach Dr. and we'll come back.
Hello.
To Ambassador Coach.
Yeah. Yeah, so I love this question. So, one way we can do is just bond the sisterhood, come together, be unified, encourage one another, plan to do things with each other, plan to host events, just spread the message out there, to all the women in the world that they are strong, they're beautiful, they're empowered, they can be successful. God is doing great things for them and everything. They're fearfully and wonderfully made. All right. And everything. Collaboration is most important, but get that sisterhood, that sister bond, together and come together as a sisterhood. I think that's one way, we can empower and also be empowered too as well and everything. So that's my take on it.
Okay. All right. Bozede, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Is it Bozede?
Yes, Bossede.
All right, look at me over here. I'm doing the thing, all right?
Good. I want to talk about collaboration and mentorship. If we really want to make young women to be inclusive, I will always talk of rural women because I work with grassroots as an NGO every time. I believe that when we go into digital literacy, we must also do mentorship, put them through, and also we collaborate with people like those people that have digital knowledge that we can collaborate with, that they can mentor these women on how to do it. And also, individual and government should sponsor these women, maybe for boot camp, digital boot camp, that they will train them on each, or they will give them a different training. We have so many, we have information technology is too wide that we have a lot of, they can train them on the area of specialization. They do boot camping for them, and they should not use it for only urban city women alone. They should go to rural women and do alternative language for them using their local languages that they can really understand to catch up easily, and they sponsor them. And also they give them incentive, maybe for mobile phones, to get some devices so that they can be good at what they want to do. Thank you.
All right, great answer, great answer. I'm gonna grab Nelson, then we'll go to Vanessa Evelyn. Nelson, floor is yours.
All right. What I want to say in this is, it's time we even look into the religious aspects of our life. The church has to do us great favor in this. I don't know if people can hear me.
Okay.
Go ahead, Nelson. We can hear you.
Hear you.
Okay. All right. So, idea now is, just as we pray for daily bread, we should pray to learn digital, to gain digital knowledge, because currently, lack of digital knowledge is a very big sickness in Nigeria, not just in Nigeria, in fact, in the whole world. Minimal you should know is that your WhatsApp, a phone. I told one of my friends that your WhatsApp can be a boutique where people can actually come, go to your catalogs and select any of your products that they want to buy, then come back to your DM. How much will you give me this last? Okay, give me this, because they trust you, because they know you, because they can easily come to your house and then beat you up or anything if you mess with their money. They can just patronize you, and then when you deliver excellence, they can always refer back. Now this makes life easy. This makes your home. Okay. The last, I'll give a real life example. There is this my friend that called me, said he wants to rent a new house, he wants to rent a shop, and then he's in school actually.
I was like, told him that you can actually rent a new house and a shop all together. Okay, what I did.
So I think his Wi-Fi may be kind of going in and going out on him. We'll go ahead and recircle back around to him when he picks his Wi-Fi back up again. Let's go ahead and go in rotation to Vanessa Evelyn.
So my contribution, you all can hear me? Hello?
We can't hear you.
You're not hearing me?
Yes, you're better.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so my contribution is that empower people, empower people. So we need to always empower the women so that they know that the power that lies in their hands and the difference that they can make and the impact that they can make. A woman is usually seen as the one that that has the greatest impact on the next generation. So we need to allow women to know that the kind of power that they have in their hands to effect change and taking up that mantle. And we also have to mentor them in the right way, the right use of the technology, because as it was rightly said before, when value is not known, abuse is inevitable. So.
Okay. All right. I know earlier Lawrence had his hand raised and we lost him. So Lawrence, are you still there?
And Ferdinand, I think, too. Ferdinand, you still wanted to answer? Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead, Ferdinand, and then Lawrence.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I think I'm so excited with this. I'm excited being among these great minds. And of course, hearing these responses also, in fact, increases my joy. I have been in the ICT for a very long time. At least I have over 12 years experience. Now, a lot of factors are involved when we talk of inclusion. And just straight to the last question, what we see, what we can do at the moment is to have organizations of donor agencies set up a kind of grant.
We lost him.
We lost him as well. We'll keep him here in rotation, and when he gets his signal back up again, we'll pop him back in. Let's go ahead and grab Lawrence as he's already here. He's been very, very patient. Lawrence, if you want to go ahead and add value, please take yourself off mute and join the talk.
Hello, am I audible now? Okay. Yes. So I think also one of the things that also we need to address is our social barriers, actually. So you know in many, especially in African countries, you find that the culture and social barriers often prevent young women from fully participating in the digital economy. So these barriers can include most, let's say, societal expectations or gender stereotypes and concerns about, let's say, safety, and maybe we can talk about privacy in online spaces. So addressing these barriers, I think it requires a combination of, let's say, awareness campaigns, policy changes, and the creation of a safe, inclusive digital environment. So these efforts maybe should be made to at least challenge and change the societal norms that discourage women from pursuing careers in technology, and to ensure that the online spaces are at least free from harassment and discrimination. Yeah, that's my input.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So we're going to go ahead and land the plane on this part of the panel discussion as we try to keep things on time. We're at the 2:15 mark, American U.S. Standard Time right here. So we're going to land the plane. Dr. Lisa, you got any takeaways for this particular portion right here before we line it up for the next set of panelists?
Absolutely, Dr. Kareem. I have to say that I believe that we have a lot of solutions. And so as I sit here, you all know me, I could take on something forever, but it seems like we've come up with a lot of answers. I think it was Baseo that said, we have a lot of solutions, that we are the solution, or maybe it was Agatha. So with that being said, this conversation, we want to take documented note of the solutions that we came up with for these problems. And then we want to see how can MM360 take affirmative action on some of these. What is within our reach right now that we can start to bring the not just a conversation to our leaders, but also the advocacy portion, right? Because that's what we're here for. As I sit here, my brain is like, oh, that's simple. We can do this. You know, let's ask Elon Musk to give us some of those star likes. That is why we're assembling here by millions, is that when many come together, we make one can, I'm a Bible girl. I was raised on the word and I still stand on the word. One chase 1,000, 2 10,000. So when we have so many of us, how many thousands can we really bring? So we are the change we wish to see in the world. So our PR person here, Samuel, he's going to reach back out to all of us and rally this back into newsletters, and we will have a special site for the digital innovation of MM360. Simple, because I can't say anything else. Then we have answers here that we can put into practice and get funding to start these things going in one city at a time. Like Dr. Kareem and I were speaking of, a lot of times the governments want to take $20 million and fix 20 cities when it costs $20 million to fix one. Let's fix one really, really well. And then we repeat, rinse and repeat. And that's what MM360 is about. So with that, Dr. Kareem, that's my submission. Thank you guys for being the answer and the solution to the problems that we have when it comes to technology.
Absolutely. So Ferdinand popped back up, so I'm gonna give him the opportunity to see if he wants to finish out his thought. So Ferdinand, I'm hoping your signal is strong enough before we switch gears. So I'm gonna give the floor back to you one last time.
Yes, thank you so much. I believe a lot has been said. What I think we have to do going forward is to be able to articulate all of these points we have made, and then of course put them as an action plan, so that we can build from there. But again, like I wanted to point out, a lot of women are doing so much in the digital space. A lot of them are ready to do more. What we need to do is funding. Of course, we can identify their capacity, their strength, and their weaknesses, and build, and position our funding to be able to, build their capacity in those areas. Today, digital analysis, data analysis, other things like research and all of that are also things that young women are actually doing very well at. We can actually see by our scope of need assessment, be able to draw how many women can do data analysis, how many young women can do marketing, affiliate marketing, and the rest of them. Okay, we can be able to channel our energy and see how we can build them forward in that area. Thank you for the opportunity to actually comment.
Absolutely. I'm glad you came back to drop that gem and give that value. I knew you was going to give us something good. I just hate it when it cut off. I said, I don't want to sell it short. I know he got some value. I saw what you put in the chat as well. I want to throw down here two things that our keynote Trevor Holt mentioned. He mentioned we have the solutions and we are the solution. And the other thing he mentioned in the chat is collaboration is new currency. And I agree with both of those things on both accords. I live in a mindset that collaboration beats competition. I'm gonna say that again. Collaboration beats competition. You can go farther and faster when you collaborate instead of trying to go at each other. So I think that this is a generation that needs to focus a bit more on the collaborative side. And then I'll also add value to what he said down here about the solution in 2024 and beyond. And that's just not for the topic and the theme we're talking about here. I'm talking about in your own personal life. Do yourself the best favor you possibly can and stop hanging around people that share your problem and learn to hang around people that have your answer. Come on, somebody. Stop hanging around people that have your problem and start learning to hang around people that have your answer or your solutions so you get what you need. Too often we base our success on hanging around like-minded people, for better or for worse. And a lot of times those people are on the same playing field or doing less than, but they can't elevate us and escalate us to where we're supposed to be. So I love that. And I love the fact that Trevor added that value. I got one last hand raised that I'm going to pull in real quick before we pivot and go on to the next panel discussion. Aisha, if you want to take yourself off mute, the floor is yours. All right, going once, going twice. All right, we'll have to bring you back in. We can't get you because we don't have anything coming out of you. All right. Okay, so Dr. Lisa, I think you had a video or something scheduled. And then we'll jump into the next panel discussion.
Yes, here it comes. This video is from Ambassador Onubusi Nelson from Nigeria. He's also our beloved in charge of our media and graphic designing department. We thank you so much, Ambassador Nelson, for all the work you've done to help us get the word out for this event. And here is, can you all see my screen, Dr. Kareem?
You can.
All right. Are you guys able to hear? I just want to make sure you guys are able to hear. Am I audible with the music?
You are. We got it.
All right. Okay. Let's go back to that then. Oops.
Physical fitness, I don't know, fella. Why can I more than that? One of the physical fit.
Ambassador Nelson, can you tell us about the dance?
A minute. Okay, what you guys just saw is called the Enugu State Cultural Dance. That is our Achukwu dance. Okay, I think my audio should be better now. Can you guys hear me, ma'am?
Yes, we can.
All right, so this is called the Achukwu dance of Enugu State. This is the popular dance of Igbos, mainly done by all the youth of the East. So this is not actually limited to any particular tribe or limited to any particular youth. It's actually a general dance, and then it is the dance Enugu State is known best for.
Thank you, Ambassador. A little bit of culture is what we are all about here. Next time, Trevor will be bringing the South Carolina dance. We got to have some line dancing from the wedding. Record the line dancing from the wedding. Oh my gosh, I love to line dance and I'm not good at it. I love to dance, but I'm not good at any of it, but I try. And then we will have something from the Carnival, Vanessa.
So I want to just jump here and say something. Two things took place here, right? Number one, watching that dance, I probably burned about 500 calories just watching that dance. I burned calories on behalf of that dance. That's how fast that dance was. And number two, I would have much rather watched that dance than the break dancing I saw at the Olympics.
Oh my, amen.
I don't know what
gosh, let's not have that. Listen, the one thing is, I mean, the bravery, but now we know that we all have an opportunity to become an Olympian. How about that?
I just want to say my legs could never survive that dance. Nelson, your leg strength is absolutely crazy. My legs would give out in probably 30 seconds.
It is. There's this man called, he's very viral, the Squat King. I think you can compete with him, Nelson. But rocking and rolling, I hope you guys had a good entertainment break. Dr. Kareem, we're ready for the last set of our panel discussion. Okay. Remember, if you're here and whether you're an appointed panelist or not, feel free to raise your hand and give us a submission, as some of our panelists are still struggling with electricity and connection. So we are filling in for them. Let's go.
So what we're going to do with this final panel discussion is we're going to do a combine and condense, because we had different segments, but we're going to just combine these segments. And so this is going to be a free-for-all. This is going to be something where you got to be on your toes for the topics. So for this panel discussion here, we are going to discuss digital technology and sustainable development. We're going to discuss youth-driven digital solutions. And we're also going to discuss the future of digital pathways for the youth. And we're going to start it off with digital technologies and sustainable development. So the very first question I have for all the panelists here, number one, in what ways are digital technologies contributing to the achievement of sustainable development goals? And more importantly, how can we maximize their impact? I'm going to say that again. In what ways are digital technology contributing to the achievement of sustainable development goals? And how can we maximize that impact?
I'll answer that. I think I got something that can answer that question. I think that the digital technology allows information to be spread more, and instead it allows people to access it at different times, different places. And so it allows the information to travel more and to reach more. And so if you have a product or your digital technologies to advance, like us, Mind Mastery 360, we're here right now with people all around the world. We wouldn't be able to do that if we didn't have the technology advances. And also with the digital assets of technology, we were talking about being creative earlier, right? It rewards creativity. Digital technology rewards you creativity on that digital aspect, right? And so, for example, I remember during this was a couple of years ago, there was a TikToker that also worked at Sherwin-Williams, the paint company here in the US. And he would create videos using Sherwin-Williams paint and create all new colors and everything. He got over like 2 million followers just by using Sherwin-Williams paint, and would create new colors and super cool things with the paint. And so that was, in my opinion, that was genius marketing for the paint company. And people already assumed that he was stealing the paint on company's time, doing it during work, was doing it during his shift. So, and then all of a sudden they fired him for it. A couple months later, he started his own paint company and is successful. So they took an opportunity from scaling their business to now creating a competitor for their business. And so technology allows us to be creative, and it allows us to market things in a different way we never thought of before. However, we also have to have the digital knowledge, the knowledge of what that could do for your potential growth or scaling of your company. So instead of knocking something that you've never seen before or is different, try it as an opportunity, because you never know if the opportunity is going to present itself in a way that scales your business, or like Sherwin-Williams is, they shut it down and now they create a competitor.
I love that. That's a great response. I'm going to grab Mercedes in a second, but I want to give a little bit of value to Trevor, and this is for everyone. I believe that you are your plan A and everything else is your plan B. I'm going to say that again. Entrepreneur for 20 years, and I clearly feel
I really love what Trevor said.
Mercedes, you're muted.
Yes, I really love what Trevor just said now, that it's bring us together. It brings everybody together. If we want to go with SDG, let me go with the decent work and economic growth. That's the area of e-commerce. Now I can sit in the comfort of my house and just order for something from Nigeria at Amazon, on Amazon in US, and it will be delivered in my house. You understand? It's also bring economic growth. You know, digitally, when we look at all these social media platforms, like now, if you can create a content, you will be paid for it. When we look at all the on TikTok, if you can create a good content, you know, YouTube, all these things, they are paying people when you are good at what you are. You know, before, you can't just say that you will just hold your phone and you will sit at the comfort of your house, you'll be talking, and someone will pay you from your phone. But digitally, you can sit in the comfort of your house and you are being paid even more than people that go out every day to go and work. That is the leverage. We have access to good health. We have access to anything good that you cannot have access to digitally. It brings us together, and it's a good thing, and it has done a lot of things. Let's talk of education, equality, everything, advocacy. Digitally, we're able to do it better than before.
Great answer, great response. Let's go over to Ambassador Coach Dr. Ashley. What do you have?
It also gives you even more platform. It expands your platform, expands your business, not only here in the US, but other countries too. It draws more new customers in. It expands your product even more. Or it expands the mission. Or it expands what you do in your services and the products that you have and that you're selling. And so it really helps your expanding your business and your mission and what you do.
I love that. I love that. Anybody else want to add value to that particular conversation, that particular question? In what ways are digital technology contributing to the achievement of sustainable development goals, and how can we maximize the impact? Let's get some of the men in here. Where you guys at? The women came through and swept the house with the message. Come on, y'all. Where y'all at? Ferdinand, what you got?
Yes, I think one of the key points I need to highlight here is increased efficiency. We've seen that today you can stay at the comfort of your house to learn certain skills and become expert, become a professional in it. So it increases efficiency and of course capacity. Thank you.
I like that. I like that. Let's go ahead and pivot and ask a second question here. This question is a little bit different. How can data generated from digital interactions be utilized to support evidence-based decision-making and accelerate sustainable development? I'll say that again. How can data generated from digital interactions be utilized to support evidence-based decision-making and accelerate sustainable development?
All I'm going to say is numbers don't lie, right? And so when any company is going to make a decision, right, they're going to look at evidence or stats that back up their decision to move it forward. Does this decision logistically make sense to move forward into doing? So say like this, obviously our goal in Mindset Mastery 360 is to impact 1 million people in 5 years. And so 2 years down the road, right, we're trying to pursue what we're trying to do, no matter what target, what solution we're attacking right now. Let's say we're on this call right now, right? In 2 years from now, we could have 20,000 people in here, and we have recorded this. We have evidence, proof, logistical things that you can look at and say, look, we have 20,000 people right here that are trying to do this solution. Here's the evidence, here's the facts. And so the digital, when you have digital data, it allows people to look at physically what people are actually, what the standard is and what people actually are trying to do. So it actually gives you physical evidence of, okay, these people are actually want to make a difference. This amount of people are doing this. This amount of people are doing that. So it just gives you an actual thing to visualize, you can see, and actually has evidence of what you support.
I love that. I love that. Anyone else that want to add value to that? How can data generated from digital interactions be utilized to support evidence-based decision-making and accelerate sustainable development? Trevor hit it spot on by saying the numbers don't lie, right? So we're basing it on fact, not fiction. All right, let's pivot and go to a different question then. Can you share examples of success youth-driven digital products that have made a significant impact in your community or globally? Can you share examples of successful youth-driven digital products that have made a significant impact in your community or globally?
I'd love to jump in.
Sure.
Oh, that's weird. I don't know what just happened, but I remember hearing about a project during COVID-19 where a youth-led initiative created an app to connect volunteers with elderlies during the COVID-19 pandemic. The app was like, it provided like essential services like grocery delivery, medication, and just to support them during that challenging time. Another one that comes to mind is where a group of young environmentalists developed a blockchain-based platform to ensure that there was transparency in the recycling process. And this is, I mean, when you think about the app, like it was, I remember during the pandemic thinking about all the people who needed their medication and things like that, and, you know, could not go out because either their immune system was compromised or things like that, and or they couldn't go to the hospital regularly because there was so much stuff. But this app was such a light, and it was the young people. All they needed was to do is create an app that allows these people to be able to connect and say, I need this, and they were delivering it. And they did it for youths were doing it absolutely at no cost, you know, because their immune system is better. So that was just a phenomenal thing that I had to share, you know, that was innovative and that youths actually was driving that initiative.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Anyone else have any examples of successful youth-driven digital products that have made a significant impact in your community or globally?
Okay. Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. This is Akim Bunja from Zambia.
Okay.
Yes. So there are a lot of initiatives and projects that youth are running in order to have an impact. So I'm going to give an example of young people from Tanzania who came up with a group or a platform which is called Ubongo Learning. Yeah. So this platform is aimed at creating education content that is distributed throughout a lot of digital platforms, radios, and TV, also including mobile apps where children are able to access education content and all that.
Okay, I love that. Ferdinand, my friend, what do you got for us?
Okay, I was thrilled when I saw a woman, this time it's a young woman who developed an app that you can stay in your respective home to order for food items. Like, I mean, essential food item. When you talk about Maggi, you talk about salt, you talk about all these things that you use in cooking. And, that decision, that app came just after COVID-19. So a lot of creativity began to come in, and then of course people begin to advance in their thinking ability. So today in Nigeria, there are so many apps like that. Although these apps, as we have identified, are just working within the urban center and not the local area. So I think if we can be able to see the possibility of making more advocacy, like someone mentioned earlier, and see the possibility of pushing some of this information and make the people in the local area to see how easy technology can help them to achieve a lot. Of course, that can go a long way. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. All right, Innocence has that hand raised up, so we'll go ahead and pull you into the platform. You want to go ahead and take yourself off mute?
Okay, yeah. Oh, right. Thank you. Okay, so what I would like to share is a global community in Burkina Faso here. Sorry, it's a local community, not global community. It's a local community of young Burkinabe. They build up a startup which transforms plastic bags into some pavement. So normally we use bricks or we use cement or cans to make our pavement here in Burkina Faso. But these youth have decided to use plastic bags, waste, and so on and so forth to transform them. I don't know how they do, but they transform that into some pavement so that we can use to lie or to lay over our house. Yeah, that's what I would like to share.
All right, I love that. More value added, more value added, more value added. Let's take a look here and see if we have a different question I can toss out there that might stump you guys just a little bit, but I'm interested in the creative mindset with this illustrious panel of individuals that's going to grace us with their greatness today, of course, right? So yeah, what are some key factors that contribute to the success of youth-led digital initiatives? And how can we support more young people in developing such solutions? I'll say that again. What are some of the key factors that contribute to the success of youth-led digital innovators? And how can we support more young people in developing such solutions?
Okay, can I take this one?
Absolutely.
Okay, so one of the factors that contribute to success of some of these projects is, looking at youth should look at the relevance of, the problem, or the relevance to the local needs. Yeah, for instance, you should look at an issue that is really a need to the community, so that you can address it. For instance, you can look at it maybe in the educational sector, logistics, or health. Yeah, so once you identify that issue that is relevant to the community needs, you can able to, to get support and also have, resources that can help you implement such projects or initiatives. Thank you.
Okay. I love that response as well. Anyone else like to tackle that question? How can data generated from want to make sure you get the right question. What are key factors that contribute to the success of youth-led digital initiatives, and how can we support more young people in developing such solutions?
I'm gonna talk about the second half, is how to develop. I think right now we have to change how we develop the youth, how we teach them. They need to be shown. They can't just be told. And people, because let's be honest, we don't learn by being talked at. We learn by, I truly believe we learn by immersion, the art of doing. So I think the way how we teach and develop people is to actually show them. And we also empower them by actually having them do something so they learn it themselves. So we can't just tell them, hey, go do this, go do that. And then it's not their own. We want them to show them how to do it. And we want them to guide them and show them with patience, because you can't just instantly remember something or change your way of life in a matter of just being told what to do. And so it's about being patient. And I think that's one of the biggest things we lost in humanity is the ability to have patience, to be patient with one another. And so with the youth, right, when we're actually trying to change something, change just doesn't happen overnight. So we have to empower the youth by actually teaching them and showing them the way, but then also allowing them to do it themselves so they can learn from themselves and they learn how they do it themselves and not doing it like the person to the left or the person to the right.
I love that. I love that. You know, I'm going to throw something in there very, very quickly before I take it over to Ferdinand. You mentioned something about talking to a person versus, in essence, talking at a person. And I tell people all the time, especially from the realm of leadership, when it comes to communication, effective communication is not just talking to someone, it's the ability to talk to someone and making sure they're able to understand and comprehend. We got a lot of leaders out there that talk a good game, but talking only goes as far as the ability to understand on the opposite end, right? So I think that is very, very key and dynamic that you threw that out there. And again, change is not easy. Right? Change takes time and it takes persistency. And more importantly, change takes patience. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and slide on over to Ferdinand. Ferdinand, if you want to go ahead and add value to that particular question, the microphone is passed to you, my friend. What you got?
Yeah, I think my view, I want to just shift a little from what people have said. Two things I see in the emerging technology, digital technologies that I've seen among the youth. Two things. One is the availability of the youth making themselves available to learning this, very skill. And then two, having support or enabling environment to actually do so. I give you an example. I started with my organization started with training people in computer programming. We did that. And when we opened a forum, we had lots of students who want to learn programming. But along the line, a lot of them start seeing the difficulties in learning it, and then they drop gradually. And then those that were committed, we took those on to the next phase. And then we see that they are doing well. We gave them incentives, and we opened other forums for more people to come in. Now, when those who had earlier dropped saw that these people are getting incentives, they now came back and made up their mind to. So the willingness of the youth to get involved, and then again, the enabling environment to help them thrive is also critical in this area. Thank you.
I love that. Dr. Lisa, there's so much value that's being shared back and forth between the conglomerate of this group. If you don't walk away with value from this meeting today, I don't know, your value meter is busted. Take it back. Activate the warranty on your value meter. If you're not getting value out of today's conversation, I don't know what to tell you, right? All right, so let's move on.
Before that, I just want to add on to the Ferdinand said something and that triggered a thought in my mind, is that a lot of time the youth, especially right now, they think they need to have everything done and perfect the first time they do something. They think that they have to be professional right away. Just because they're not good at something doesn't mean they can't be good at something. Never, like our friend John Maxwell says, you're never good the first time you do anything, right? And so it's about understanding that you're not going to be good at something the first time you do something, right? And so it's knowing that there's no such thing as failure. It's just progression. Failure is not rejection. Failure is progression, and it's redirection. So it's also having them understand that you're going to fail along the way. But failures teach you lessons, success never will. And so it's about having them understand that it's not failing, it's just progressing and like going towards your goal. You're going to have trials and tribulations, but you don't know where you're going to end up unless you go through those trials and tribulations. You're not going to have instant gratifications. And that's what these things do to us the most. We expect an answer to be right away. We expect to be right and be good right away, because this programs our mind that instant gratification is real, but it's not. Things take time, things take effort, and it's patience. So it's knowing that failure is okay. Having a safe environment that if they make a mistake, it's part of the process, not that they're wrong for it. It's just part of the process. No one means to make a mistake. I don't wake up and say, oh, wow. Oh, yeah, no, I meant to miss the net on that shot. Yeah, no, I meant to do that. No, it's a mistake for a reason. No one willingly makes mistakes. So it's having them understand that mistakes are part of the process.
I love that. I love that. I'm going to chime in here real quick because you mentioned progression and redirection. I want to add one more thing in there. I think that goes without saying, protection. And I say protection because some of the biggest mistakes our inventors do and some of our entrepreneurs do is they can get stuck on a one-track mindset where they're spending many years going in the wrong direction, right? So you said progression, redirection. I also add protection because the most valuable resource we have is always going to be our time. You know, Miles Monroe has taught me over the long haul that once time is gone, not that you can't get it back, but you have a responsibility to hustle to make it back up if you waste it. So I want to add protection in there because you want to protect the most valuable resource you have, which is time. I don't want to waste my time in an arena where I'm not making progress. You know, so sometimes that doorway may be blocked to keep me safe so I don't waste that valuable resource. All the same, I'm loving the value that's being tossed out here. Samuel had thrown something in the chat that I want to throw out there to everyone that's still paying attention and listening to the sound of my voice. He said one of the ways we can figure this stuff out is conducting a baseline survey. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, it's so simple, but it's so easy. Sometimes the simplest solution can tackle the toughest problem. You had to conduct a baseline survey and figure out what people need in this day, this age, this time, in this season. And Vanessa's thrown out there the environment to help them thrive, that part right there, 100 with the fire emoji behind it. So we're getting ready to land the plane on today's presentation. So what I like to do at this point is just do a free-for-all. And when I say a free-for-all, this is not question indicative or specific. I just want you to give me, what do you think is the most powerful thing listeners should take away from today's conversation? What is the most powerful thing you as a panelist or someone who participated, what is the most powerful thing you think listeners should take away from today's conversation? And that floor is open. What you got for me?
I'm just going to leave it with this a simple statement.
Okay.
If not you, then who?
If not you, then who? I can rock with that. I like that one. I like that one. Who else we got?
I would like to add that I believe that we should continue to create a culture of curiosity and openness. When it comes to innovation, when it comes to technology, it's going to be curiosity and openness. We should encourage it for all humans from birth all the way through to adulthood. But we should focus in on allowing the space that Trevor and Ferdinand so eloquently spoke about, where they're encouraged to fail forward fast, as you would say, Dr. Kareem, because there's no such thing as failure. The only failure is the person who does not try. This event in and of itself, it was because of the mindset of the youth that we have. When I have the idea, I'm like, you know what, wanted to launch launched the Youth Development Board for International Youth Day 2024. As you know, Dr. Kareem, you, Confidence, and the rest of the execs talked about this over a year and a half ago. And so it was like, there's never the right time. And so we went ahead, they encouraged me and they're like, we got you, you know? And I said, y'all are not going to leave me to do all this work, because it looks easy to do a virtual event, but it's a lot of work when you're doing multiple things. And as Nelson told me, he says, I don't know how you did it before by yourself. I said, I don't know either, but it was my ability and mostly encouraged by the youth and their vigor to say, we can do it. So that curiosity and openness is everything. Here we are, first launch, first day one of the Youth Development Board. And it's going to be crazy when we come to next year's go around. So openness and curiosity.
Okay, I love that. Anyone else want to chime in here and give us what you think your biggest takeaway was from today's conversation and tap into?
Okay, I'll go.
Hi.
I think for me, it's the takeaway that first and foremost, we are the change that we want to see. And apart from that, we are saying digital technology, innovation is actually a right to every individual. It's not a luxury, but it's a necessity. Thank you so much.
I love that. I love that. Bosede, my friend, you have your hand up. I know you got some for us. What you got?
As for me, my takeaway today is we are the solution. That we are the solution, especially for rural people. We should make them to be digital literate, and there should be inclusion. We should carry them along and make it easier for them. And I can say that on this platform, we have so many people that are digitally inclined, that there's a room for collaboration for some of us that are working with rural people, that we should make ourselves a solution and make them inclusive in our decisions. That's my takeaway.
I love it. I love it. Ambassador Coach Dr. Ashley, your hand is up. What you got for us?
Like I mentioned earlier, my biggest takeaway from this panel discussion, like I mentioned earlier, faith without work is dead. Prayer without work is dead. Keep on praying, keep on having faith, but keep on putting in the action. Keep on putting your business out there. Keep on promoting. Keep on trusting God. Don't lose focus. Don't get distracted. Keep focused. All right. Keep on expanding your business. Keep on promoting on social media. Hallelujah. Glory to God. And always know that you're called, you're chosen by God, and you're worth it, because God has greater work for you to do. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right, Vanessa Evelyn, it's your turn. What you got for us?
So amongst all of these nuggets that was shared, that was so powerful, I think there are two things that stood out the most to me. One is the collaboration beats competition. So you need to stop seeing people as competition and see them as, a means of collaborating to get ahead in life. And the next one is what Trevor said was so powerful. He said, we have a lot of solutions, but we are the solutions. So we need to stop speaking and thinking that, we have to.
All right. Adewole, if you want to go ahead and chime in, take yourself off of mute and let us know what's your takeaway. What's the value you got?
Yeah. So can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to say my takeaway and my advice is that we have greatness in us. There's a lot in us. So we should be a part of community that would allow us to grow, right? A collaboration, a mentorship space. So there's a lot in us that we can achieve together.
Okay, I love that. All right, and it looks like my friend Samuel has popped back up here again. So Samuel, the floor is yours. What you got for us?
Right. For me, my takeaway is what I heard from the keynote speech that Trevor shared with us. I think he mentioned something about we being action-oriented as young people rather than focusing on the outcome. So for me, that is something that is standing so strong. And as young people, as we look at what is coming up in the near future, we are the main drivers. Even as we get to embrace innovation, digital transformation, we need to understand that we ought to be known for something. And by that, I always tell people and tell my friends to say that we need to be very intentional about it. It requires us to, first of all, understand even our purpose. What is it that we are doing? And what is it that we are offering to the world? The world is looking for young people that are promoting something that is going to change lives, something that is going to offer solutions to the global problems that are out there. Even as we are looking at this International Youth Day, which falls tomorrow, we need to understand that the focus of digital innovation or digital inclusivity in all aspects of life is so much important. And we should understand that as young people, we ought to appeal to our own creativity. We attach passion to it and bring out solutions that the world is looking for. Thank you.
I love that. And we'll go ahead and go to the last hand that I saw up. I believe it was Grace.
Yeah, where is she? I wanted to hear her.
we had her here a second ago. I saw that little hand up and I was going to grab her.
Yeah, she got knocked off.
So what I'll do is I'll get ready to land the plane. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone that spent your time with today's conversation. There was a lot of value. There's a lot of gems, a lot of nuggets. Thank you for Trevor dropping that game-changing keynote message as well. The thing that I think that I took away the most, and anytime I run into a group of individuals that are as dynamic as yourselves, I always come with the idea of everyone has sight, but few people have vision. I'm gonna say that again. Everyone has sight, but very few people have vision, and there's a difference between the two. What I've learned over the years is hard to be a thing if you can't see a thing. And a lot of times your sight can be strengthened by who you choose to hang with, the conversations you consume on an everyday basis, all pull into the character of who you are. There's a scripture in the Book of Life that says, guard the eyes and guard the ears, because that's the gateway to the mind. And we always think about that in the negative sense, but those rules don't discriminate. That means that there's a negative aspect to it. There's always a positive aspect to it. And today I'm super glad that I did not guard my eyes and I didn't guard my ears, because you guys came through and dropped tremendous gems of value that's going to shape my projection of this week a whole lot different, because you guys decided to show up. So my takeaway is everyone has sight. Very few people have vision. It's hard to be a thing if you can't see a thing. And so the question I leave everyone with is simply this: how strong is your vision? How strong is your vision? Now, for those of you that already belong to Mindset Mastery 360, congratulations on being part of one of the most dynamic organizations around. There's so much more territory to cover, and we're going to do that together as a team. But for those of you that are listening in that's wondering what is Mindset Mastery 360 all about, Mindset Mastery 360 is a global movement dedicated to empowering individuals, fostering resilience, and transforming mindsets. At the heart of our initiative is the firm belief that unlocking the full potential of individuals contributes to a brighter, more empowered world. And we're always looking to add value to that mission. So if that's you and you think that you have the ability to help transform this world and take it in a better direction, we invite you to join us at mindsetmastery360.org. Mindsetmastery360.org. If you'll jump on that site, fill out the information. We would love to have you join us as one of our ambassadors as we go about the process of changing this world for the better. And success is 50% what you know, 50% who you know, what they know about you. So for some of you, the next level of your growth will come through the strategic, collaborative, driven connections you create in this season and beyond. So you should always be on the lookout of connecting with different people based on the doors and opportunity that can be presented to you. So on that note, I'm going to land the plane right there. We've been going strong for a full 3 hours. I celebrate everybody that has hung in the gap long enough to make it to the fantastic finish line. On behalf of myself and the rest of the organization, we love you. There's nothing you can do about it. We'll see you back here on the 24th as we celebrate our youth and what they've done in the industry. I'm landing my plane right there. Doc, you got anything else you want to add?
Thank you, Dr. Kareem. To you, I have to say all the thank yous for being such an illustrious host and moderator and co-founder and chairperson. You're the best. Trevor, thank you so much for your keynote. Team, the Youth Development Board, that is just brand new information. All of you here on the Zoom call still are definitely those phenomenal humans who help bring this vision together for today and for the rest of the month as we celebrate youth, and also strategically, specifically Adewale and Samuel and Ambassador Nelson as well. You men are my wings in this venture to make sure today came off. And I so appreciate you all. Very special thank you to you three. And then for everyone else who just came and lift with us, we are going to do even more great things as we lay out the foundation for MM360. Thank you to all the others who have shared, who are not here, who couldn't be here for their other commitments, who couldn't stay on because of power. Thank you to all our ambassadors. We really came on as a team. This is what community is all about. I just can't wait to physically touch each of you. But for now, we keep connecting in spirit and on these virtual technological platforms. And listen, I hope everyone's inside our virtual community, because that is technology that your girl played around in, and it's looking really good. And I love seeing us in there. For now, I'm Dr. Elisa White, honored to serve forever. Peace, love, and abundance. Remember, everything begins with your thoughts. Really, truly, how is your mindset? Think, speak, do, become. Your mindset is the key to your success. We're over and out. Bye.
Bye.
You all don't leave yet. We said bye to the virtual people. Let's stop.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.